Have you ever stopped to think about the intricate dance of gears, springs, and levers that keeps time moving on your wrist or wall? The silent, constant ticking that dictates our lives. From catching a bus to baking a cake, we often take clocks for granted, marveling at their accuracy but rarely considering the journey they take from raw materials to a functioning timepiece. But what happens when that precision wavers, when a gear slips, or a spring loses its tension? Who are the unsung heroes who step in to mend these miniature marvels? Today, we're diving into a fascinating, often overlooked corner of the horological world to answer a question that might sound a little unusual. What is a clock jobber? It's a term that harks back to a different era, a time when craftsmanship and specialized knowledge were paramount. And while the exact role has evolved, the spirit of the clock jobber lives on. To truly understand what a clock jobber is, we need to rewind a bit and understand the historical context of clockmaking and repair. For centuries, clocks were not mass-produced consumer goods. They were precision instruments, often handcrafted, expensive, and designed to last generations. A local clockmaker would typically be responsible for both creating new timepieces and repairing existing ones. Their workshops were bustling hubs of activity, filled with the delicate sounds of filing, polishing, and the rhythmic tick-tock of works in progress. However, as the demand for clocks grew, and as manufacturing processes became more specialized, a division of labor began to emerge. Not every clockmaker was an expert in every single aspect of clock creation or repair. Some specialized in cases, others in movements, and still others in specific types of clocks like grandfathers or pocket watches. This is where the jobber comes in. In essence, a clock jobber was, and to some extent still is, a specialist who undertakes jobs or specific tasks related to clock repair, maintenance, or component manufacturing. They weren't necessarily the person who built an entire clock from scratch, but rather the expert who could be called upon to address particular issues or supply specific parts. Think of them as the highly skilled troubleshooters and component suppliers of the clock world. Imagine a scenario. A local clockmaker receives a beautiful antique mantel clock that has stopped working. After a preliminary inspection, they realize the mainspring is broken or a specific gear is stripped. In the past, the clockmaker might not have had the specialized tools or the time to manufacture that exact mainspring or gear from raw brass or steel. This is where the clock jobber would step in. A clock jobber might specialize in crafting bespoke replacement parts, gears with precise tooth counts, delicate pivots, or perfectly tensioned springs. They would possess an intimate knowledge of metallurgy, machining, and the subtle mechanics of various clock movements. Their workshop would be equipped with precision lathes, milling machines, and a dizzying array of specialized hand tools, often passed down through generations. Beyond manufacturing parts, a clock jobber could also be a specialist in particular types of repairs. Perhaps they excelled at rebushing worn pivot holes, a common issue in older clocks where the friction from constantly rotating arbors slowly wears away the brass plates. Or maybe they were masters of escapement adjustment, the delicate art of ensuring the escapement mechanism, the heart of the clock, is functioning with perfect rhythm and efficiency. The term jobber also hints at a business model. Rather than serving the general public directly, a clock jobber would often work for other clockmakers, jewelers, or even wealthy individuals with extensive clock collections. They were a crucial link in the chain of horological maintenance, providing the specialized skills and components that kept the industry running smoothly. In many ways, the clock jobber was a behind-the-scenes hero. Their work was precise, meticulous, and often invisible to the end user, yet absolutely vital to the longevity and accuracy of countless timepieces. They were the ones who ensured that a cherished family heirloom could continue to mark the passage of time for generations to come. As the 20th century progressed, and with the advent of mass production, particularly of inexpensive quartz movements, the traditional role of the clock jobber began to change. Many smaller clockmakers closed their doors, and the demand for handcrafted parts diminished. However, the need for skilled repair and restoration of antique and vintage clocks has never truly disappeared. Today, while the term clock jobber might be less common, the spirit of that role lives on in specialized horological workshops and individual craftspeople. These are the master clockmakers and restorers who possess the same depth of knowledge, the same highly specialized skills, and the same dedication to preserving mechanical timekeeping. They might not explicitly call themselves jobbers, but they are performing the same essential functions: diagnosing complex issues, fabricating custom parts, and bringing intricate mechanisms back to life. They are the ones who can source or create a microscopic screw for a rare pocket watch, recut a worn gear for a towering grandfather clock, or meticulously restore a delicate enamel dial. Their work requires not only technical expertise but also a deep understanding of history, an appreciation for the artistry of past masters, and an almost limitless patience. So, while the term clock jobber might evoke a bygone era, it represents a timeless need for specialized expertise in the world of mechanical clocks. It's about the dedication to precision, the mastery of intricate mechanics, and the quiet satisfaction of making time flow accurately once more. It's a reminder that even in our fast-paced digital world, there's still immense value in the slow, deliberate craft of keeping time. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.